Okay, so I've been listening to the album Mammoth. I've been listening to it on rotation, and I did wonder, I wonder how this will translate acoustically. It's so impactful. Like, I was getting Van Halen. Did you ever listen to Caius?
A little bit, yeah. That was Josh Homme's band before.
I loved Caius, which I always thought, Caius loves Eddie Van Halen.
Yeah.
Like, there's so much, like, symmetry between the chords and the ruthlessness and the sort of, you know, continuation of guitar being the lead.
Which is kind of rare these days.
Yeah, I would listen to your dad's Eruption, which is one of the greatest pieces of music ever recorded in the history of music. And then I would listen to a Caius and I'd be like, well, they love Eruption.
Yeah.
So I thought, what's it going to be like without the electrics? And it transcends. It's as effervescent and buoyant and heart beating and like...
I want him to do an acoustic album with the band. I think it would be so great because all the songs that they do play acoustically are so beautiful.
Well, nothing gets lost in translation. And as a musician, may I ask how you think it transcends? Because your dad was the king of electric guitar, but there you get up there with your acoustic and it's still all there. Nothing gets lost.
I think for me personally, I tend to actually write a lot with an acoustic guitar. Like there's an acoustic guitar on the couch, like at all times.
So that sound is sort of like a first love to your ear?
For sure. I think like at the end of the day, if a melody or something like that is good, it'll translate.
Okay, can I ask you about The Spell? Yeah. Apparently the song might be inspired by someone. There's a rumor out there.
We've never talked about it, but if you want to...
Well,
we don't want to say exactly what it is about. Okay, so I was listening to his album.
Go, do it. You want to tell us.
The song is about losing somebody that you care for to an influence that you don't really trust and trying to beckon for them to come to their senses and to come back.
I know exactly who, why, where, and when you are discussing because I'm lucky enough to be Val's friend.
And I spent many time in her dressing room crying, and I learned a lot that year. And I've told Wolfie that he literally saved my life that year because I was being influenced by someone that was hurting me deeply. And I wanted to believe the best in someone. And everyone that loves me knew better. So it was hard, but I remember listening to the song over and over, and at first I just loved it because it was beautiful. I loved the lyrics. I loved his vocals on it. And after a while, I'm like sitting with it. I FaceTimed him one day. I said, honey, is that song about us? You know, you and what? And he goes, maybe. And I was like, that's unbelievable. Like, I'm so happy that you were able to use your art to get through something so painful. And I'm so proud of you. And I mean, I love one of the first things I ever said to Wolfie after I heard the first few songs from the very first record is, Wolf, you're a songwriter. Like, that's the hardest thing in the world to be. And you are so good at it. Like, that was my first, I mean, besides being able to play every instrument, I could go on and on. I mean, I think he's just phenomenal.
Do you think it's a good thing to process our feelings through our art? Is that a safe space?
I think that is art's reason for existing. I think it's a form of expression of the emotions that you can't put words to. So you try to inject it into your art. It's a therapeutic thing for me. You know, when I'm writing, and usually I do like to position my lyrics from a perspective that I think anybody can kind of insert themselves into it.
Make it general, make it
exactly
relatable.
Exactly.
I just love celebrating you. I love celebrating your music. Now, Mammoth, really quickly, as a last question, it has to do with your father. Will you tell us the story of the band name?
Yeah, it's basically a reference to an early band name my dad had when he was growing up, and it was a three-piece band where he was the guitar player and singer, and it was Al, his brother, drumming, and a man named Mark Stone playing the bass. And every time my dad told me that story, I was like, Mammoth is a really cool band name because they called it Mammoth for just like to represent the sound, like in the definition of the word, not tusks or whatever. It's about the word and the sound and being larger than life. And so I always said that when I grow up, I'm going to call my band Mammoth. And
did he respond? Did he have thoughts and feelings about that?
I worked under the assumption it was going to be Mammoth for like 3 years before I asked him. Like, I was really, really nervous. And so when I finally asked him, he was like, "Are you kidding me? Like, that's badass."
Oh, that makes me
like,
so happy.
why would you be nervous? And so I don't know. I felt stupid, but like I said.
Oh, your dad wanted to give you anything and everything. He just adored you. Yeah.
What do you think?
I love it. I think he has a beautiful name, and you could call the band Wolf Van Halen, but he has these amazing band members that are so good, and they're such great, I call them boys, they're grown men, but I love them like my own, and I just love all of them. But we don't do things alone in this business. There is no such thing as getting it all done. Even though he records and plays every instrument, sings every song, writes every song, he has 2 people in the studio with him that he, works with, Elvis.
You can be a
and
Renaissance man, but we still need people.
Yeah.
And this is such an honor to do this with you, Wolfie and Andraia. I can't believe we're sitting here with you. Because like I said, you're with us here every single day. Now, thank you both so much. The end is out now, and you can catch Mammoth on tour in a city near you. And by the way, you have matching tattoos?
Right. I have a W.
You have V and you have a W.
And then Wolfie and I have the world and the moon, because to the moon and back I love you.
Oh my God, that's what I say to my girls.
Yes, all the time. To the moon and back.
I love you bigger than the universe.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you so much, everybody. Wolfie, Andraia, we'll be right back.